dream chasers, dream achievers, y'all already know the deal. I have one life to live. I'm not getting any younger. I have to be the best me that I can be. You have to be the best you can be. So let's get into it. This is attempt number 3 at trying to make a video. Something always happened, like my GPS talking or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get into it. So this video, I want to talk about finances, but before I do that, I just kind of want to nitpick on something real quick. This YouTube stuff, I love it. I will continue to do it, but in order for me to be successful with this, I've come to the absolute realization that I have to get better at social media. I have to get better with YouTube. I have to get better at promoting. I have to get better with editing, so on and so forth. Everybody I see that's very, that's successful with YouTube, they have good editing, they have the good thumbnails and clickbait and all that, and they're just more professional. So if I want to be successful in this, I'm just going to have to be more professional. That's my little rant for social media and YouTube. But let's get into the topic of the video, and it's going to be about finances. And I'll kind of give you examples off of what I'm going through right now in my life, and the things that I've learned, and the things that I'm trying to apply, and my vision, and my goals, and how I plan on achieving those goals so that I can be better off financially. So that's going to be this type of video. If you're interested in like a video about maybe budgeting or cutting costs, or what assets versus liabilities are, and those type of things, just drop a comment and I'll make a video. But let's talk finances. So two things that I'm really trying to figure out in my life right now is, now I'm beginning to make money. I'm making a lot more money than I was making working a 9-to-5, and I love it. I have more freedom. I wouldn't have to work again for several months if I chose to do that, and that's a blessing. And I make my own time, and I'm home plenty, and if I need to go home, I'll turn it around right now and go to the house. It's no big deal. Back in the Gap, working a 9-to-5, if you take a week off of work with no vacation time or anything like that, like, it could be detrimental. I think the average person in America is like 2 weeks away from being in a huge financial bind. And so that's what I'm trying to avoid. But anyhow, so this is going really well. I am net profit somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000 a week, depending on how hard I run. This will be a $3,000 week for me. You do the math. 3 times 52. If I ran all 52 weeks, is over $150,000, which I have never made that kind of money. You may have, and that's awesome, but increase that. So, but I don't plan on running 52 weeks out of the year. And my goal with this was to get out here, raise capital, funnel money through my LLC, and begin to create, bank history with my LLC. And my bank, it's a traditional bank. Most banks are. I need to expand. But I go in the bank and it's like, hey, I'm looking to buy another truck. They say, okay, do you have can you get us W-2s? And I'm like, no, I don't work for anybody anymore. And they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. You don't have W-2s. And I'm like, well, I have my own LLC. And they say, okay, well, we need 2 years of bank history. And through your LLC to get this loan. And I'm like, I don't have that either. And they're like, well, sorry, can't help you. So therefore, I can't expand without finding investors and either getting a loan at a higher interest rate or giving them equity in my business. And those two things I'm really refusing to do. So I've called around, and there's some dealerships that will work with me, so on and so forth. And so here's where I'm at as far as expanding and why I want to expand. One reason is I don't want to be in a truck the rest of my life. My goal is to be at the house. Financial freedom brings freedom in my time. So I want to be at the house. So, okay, how can I do that? If I put somebody in this truck, I won't make the money that I want to in order to grow. So I need another truck. So I'll just give you some numbers. So basically, off of every load, it's like 20 to 30% is what the average of companies that lease people on, they do 20 to 30%. And so that number for me is about $300 to $400 a load. You can run 2 loads a week and be home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so I've already proposed this to some people, and they're on board because they're not making money. They're ready for a change also. And while they're making, the money that they're going to make, which is double what they're making now, I'll be creating a passive income. If they'll run 2 loads a week, I'll be creating a passive income of $800 a week, which is give or take, let's say $40,000, $50,000 a year. That's passive. That all I did was buy a truck and put somebody in it. And it may not be quite passive. It may be some earned income, but it's generating extra and more revenue. So now I take that, I said $3,000 a week times 52 is 150, and then if they'll run and do those numbers, it's $200,000 a year, right? Okay, cool. Well, it's not going to work out that way. It never does. And so my goal is, though, if I can have 3 trucks running for me, each making, let's say $600 to $800 a week. Let's say 600 on the low side. 6 times 3 is 18. That's $1,800 a week, and I'm at the house. Well, now that I'm making $1,800, I take that money, and instead of buying liabilities like a side-by-side or whatever, I'm looking into buying a box truck. There's used ones on Marketplace and stuff like that for $20,000. I've done some research. You can do a 26-foot non-CDL box truck and make pretty decent money. I want to buy a dually and get a 40-foot CDL trailer, lease on to a company called Acme, and generate some more revenue. And so by this time, if I can accomplish those goals, then there's no doubt that I can probably bring home $200,000 a year sitting at the house. And then therefore I start to change people's lives. By now I got these people driving my trucks that are making twice the money they were making. Now I have time and money to where I can create other businesses, maybe for some people that I trust but don't trust driving a truck cross country. So simple jobs such as pressure washing companies and landscape companies, or just starting to become an investor. Buying into somebody's business who may not be doing as well as it is, but I can buy into it, say 50% of it, and help them run a successful business, and then so on and so forth. Sky's the limit. Also, real estate. My goal right now is to have about $20,000 set to the side strictly for real estate. And so that's one side, and I'm going to kind of get into real estate here in a minute. I'm not going to get in depth because it can go very deep. But that's one side of finances and my kind of finances that I want to discuss on this. And on that, kind of finishing that up, is I do not want money in the bank. I want money in assets. I don't want money in the bank because I don't get a return. And inflation, as y'all know, is ridiculous. So I'm actually losing money keeping money in the bank. So I'm trying to just generate enough revenue to where I don't necessarily need an investor right now, and he take parts of my profit, or she takes parts of my profit. And so I'm trying to do it by myself, and while I'm doing that, I'm building a team. But instead of keeping money in the bank, I'm trying to buy assets, preferably cash flowing assets. And again, if you don't know what this is, drop in the comment, and I have no problem making a video on it. Next thing is part of the real estate thing. So I just want to be transparent on some stuff, and in my personal life, my wife might get mad at me, but it's okay. So keep the fact of investing in assets instead of buying liabilities and keeping your money in the bank in this topic. So we bought a house. Our interest rate is 2.85%. somebody told my wife about, you know, paying extra towards the house and paying off the principal and all this, and paying your house off on a 30-year mortgage, pay it off in 15 years. And yeah, that sounds good. It does. So you can have equity in the home and all that when you get ready to sell and all that, or just having equity and not having a bill, you know, for 15 years longer. And I get that. I see that. But my thought process on this is, for one, I never want to sell the house. It's a great house. It's a great rental property opportunity. The value of houses are going up. So in this, I have in this house that I'm currently in, instead of paying it off in 15 years, take that money and hold that thought. Because let me break this down to you. When you have a rent house, you have, if you can keep it occupied, you have cash flow that is tax-free, that you do not have to pay for. You do not have to pay the IRS for. You have appreciation and depreciation, which depreciation you can write off your house as a tax. So on the tax returns. So anyhow, that's that. So I have a 2.85% interest rate. So why would, the way inflation is, they say 6% or so, and I got a 2.85%. If I will literally just hang on to my house and paid my bill, by the end of my 30-year mortgage, I would have had the banks pay me to buy my house because of the rise of inflation. Now stay with me. 2.85%. If I take that extra money that I would pay towards the principal extra every month and invest it into something that can give me a return higher than 2.85%, then I have made money. Let's say I can find something that can give me a 6% return on my money annually. I would have doubled my money. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And so that's why I'm kind of against paying my house off early, because I have such a low interest rate. And another little thing, if you do have a high interest rate, which I think it may be getting a little late, because I think the last I heard were interest rates were 5%. But if you have something over that, you need to go talk to somebody and see if you can do maybe a cash out refinance or something, and refinance your home at a lower interest rate. If you can do a cash out refinance, you can actually make money. Now the value of your house would have gone up probably, and you'll end up paying more than now, but you will have a large lump sum of money. Real estate people do it all the time. If you'll get into real estate, you'll hear cash out refi all the time. And so anyhow, those are kind of like my 2 quick points of kind of just where I'm at, and just while I tell you where I'm at, give you information as far as like how numbers work. My goal for this video is kind of get you thinking on getting financially literate. And so that's it, guys. I love you. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It helps out the algorithm of YouTube, which y'all know. It helps people find what they're looking for. It helps me, and it's free. It literally a click of a button. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them, even make a video on them. Also, if I can get one truck, I think I have it filled, but also get in touch with me, because things are bound to happen. You know, the man may get sick, or he just may not be interested in it, so I'd like to keep that truck rolling if I can get it. And I want to be prepared, not surprised. So, and also if that starts to work well, I want to buy another truck, and then it goes on from there. We get the ball rolling. So anyhow, I love you guys. Make your dreams happen. And I love y'all, man. Bye-bye.